Expectations don't always correspond to reality. Inadequately thought out and poorly calculated moves can lead to a great destruction by reversing all expectations, and the people responsible for this destruction are usually those who talk ambitiously but fail to live up to their claims. In the war between Russia and Ukraine, the whole world is watching how the expectations and dreams of the Russian leader Vladimir Putin are being shattered. One of the 21st century's biggest armed conflicts, this war has the potential to spell the end of the country. Putin embarked on this invasion of Ukraine and with great ambitions, great expectations and great dreams, but this journey is coming to an end. Putin's dreams of becoming the great Russian Tsar are being destroyed one by successful operations of the Ukrainian army. Developments on the front line clearly show that Ukraine has gained a huge psychological advantage. Let us now take a closer look at the latest operations carried out by the Ukrainian army. Let me make a small reminder. As the Newsmark team, we strive to bring you the latest developments in the Russia-Ukraine war. So do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. I also read all of your comments on our videos. Please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments. Let's start if you are ready. Newsmark reports. In its operations, the Russian army carries out indiscriminate attacks, and the occupied troops are firing just for the sake of firing, without any strategic targets in mind, unnecessarily depleting Russia's ammunition stocks. And in contrast, the Ukrainian army makes highly efficient use of its increasingly diverse and modernized inventory. The Ukrainian military's war strategy is based on the principle of less offense, more damage. And the Ukrainian troops aim to inflict maximum damage to the Russian army with the small numbers of precise and effective attacks. As I've reported in our previous reports, the Ukrainian army has targeted and successfully hit several Russian ammunition depots. Not content with these attacks, Ukrainian troops have also destroyed the routes of the shipments to the ammunition depots, severely weakening Russia's logistical capabilities. The goal now is to deprive the vehicle carrying out these deliveries of fuel. Recently, Ukrainian troops took this strategy a step further with the critical operations in the Kharkiv region. In this region, there was a large fuel depot that supplied the Russian occupiers armored vehicles, tanks, and other military vehicles with the fuel they needed. By launching a missile strike against this important fuel depot, the Ukrainian army was able to further weaken the Russia's combat capability. When the Ukrainian missiles hit a fuel depot, a massive explosion caused widespread destruction. The explosions grew larger as the fuel caught fire, causing serious damage to surrounding areas. A military facility located next to the fuel depot was also severely damaged by the explosions. So far, the Russian authorities have not commented on this attack. However, given that Russia usually keeps silent or denies allegations of an attack when it suffers serious casualties in this operation organized by the Ukrainian military, this shows the magnitude of the impact of the attack. Therefore, it is possible to say that this attack inflicted serious losses on Russia. The Ukrainian army also launched effective attacks on other critical operations of these Russian positions. In particular, a large fuel depot near Shesitska in the Luhansk was targeted by the Ukrainian military. The destruction of this fuel depot, which is of a strategic importance for the Russian forces, caused great damage to Russia. These strikes demonstrate the successes of the Ukrainian military strategies and the extent to which it had breached Russia's defenses. An important military operation was carried out in Kulikivka in the Luhansk region of the eastern Ukraine. Ukrainian army drones targeted and neutralized a group of tankers preparing to refuel the Russian invaders' vehicles. This attack greatly disturbed the Russian occupation forces' plans to refuel their depots and troops in the region. At the same time, it severely limited the mobility of the Russian vehicles waiting inside Ukraine. In addition, the Ukrainian army carried out a critical military operation in Sevastov, close to the border area between Russia and Ukraine. In this case, the Russian military command post in the town was targeted and successfully hit. Such operations provide an important strategic advantage for the Ukrainian army in its fights against the Russian occupation forces. The problems in Russia's military command continues to attract international media attention. Many news agencies have been reporting on these problems Russia is facing during the war. Russian commanders have not achieved any significant successes on the battlefield. Moreover, instead of fighting, some commanders are concentrating their efforts on rising their ranks, and this is causing serious setback in Russia's war strategy and reducing the effectiveness of the military operations. Russian headquarters are also facing a major security vulnerability. Ukrainian intelligence services have easy access to war plans prepared in the Russian headquarters, and this leads to the failure of many Russian offensive plans. Therefore, it can be said that the Russian headquarters buildings do not have the positive impact on the war for Russia. However, the fact that remains that these buildings provide a source of morale for the soldiers on the front line. However, the Ukrainian army has managed to destroy this source of morale too. HIMARS missiles, which were part of the United States support package to Ukraine, proved their effectiveness throughout the Russia-Ukraine war, and with a firing range of 80 kilometers, these missiles strengthened the power of the Ukrainian army and become the fearful dream of the Russian army. In particular, the Russian command post in Sevastov have been hit by the destructive power of these missiles. Recently, the Ukrainian army carried out a successful attacks on this outpost. As a result of the accurate HIMARS missiles strikes, the outpost was completely destroyed, and this destruction of this outpost, located in the Luhansk region annexed by Russia, sent shock waves through Russia. The destruction of these outposts, which were seen as a reliable fortress, had a huge impact on the members of the Russian army. As a result, the successful operations by the Ukrainian army weakened the security networks Russia has established in the occupied territories. Attacks with HIMARS missiles both demoralized the Russian army and disturbed its strategic plans. In this process, Ukraine's intelligence support and the modern weapon technologies are becoming one of the most important factors determining the course of the war. What's your opinion? What do you think? How much do you think the Ukrainian army's attacks with HIMARS missiles affect the course of the war? Do you think these operations could cause Russia to change its strategy? Or how do attacks on the Russian headquarters buildings affect the morale of the frontline soldiers? And how do Ukrainian operations against such targets shape the psychological aspects of the war? Let me know in the comments, because you know that I read and I care a lot about all of your comments.